You made it back for part 3. We're going to talk about everything you need to know for generating leads and closing leads. This is where we make our money. Now, as I referenced in the last video, and if you haven't seen chapter 2, part 2 yet of the 5 pillars of success in drop servicing, you need to go back and watch that one right now, because that is the most important and most difficult part of the drop servicing business model. But once you have laid your foundation in part 1, you have hired high quality cleaners in part 2, and now you are ready to start making some money. We have arrived at part 3 here. This is the sales marketing masterpiece episode. So first thing we need to do, we need to talk about generating leads versus closing leads. Two very different things. And in this industry, my opinion is that it is easy to do generating leads, and it is easy-ish to do closing leads. There's a few things that are going to immediately set you apart and drastically improve the likelihood that you can generate and close leads. So we're going to start right there. First thing, want to improve the likelihood that you're going to generate more leads, close more leads? Develop your online presence. Having a nice website, having nice branding, a nice Google business profile, having good reviews, having a nice front-facing brand for your company will greatly increase the likelihood that you are generating more leads and closing more leads. And why is it both? Because not only are customers more likely to pick up the phone and call you if your brand looks more legitimate, nicer quality, etc., but on top of that, you also have the idea of pre-selling. Your customer is pre-sold on your brand when they get on the phone with you, already knowing this company has 5-star reviews, this company does great work, everyone speaks highly of them, they look professional, they look legitimate. You have way less selling to do, and you're much less likely to get certain key objections, okay? Now we're going to circle back to the sales part in a little bit. We'll talk about the main objections you can expect and how to get around them. But first, let's talk about generating leads. There are 4 main categories in which we generate leads, okay? We have online and we have in person. If you're running this business completely remote, only worry about the online. If you're running this business mostly remote, but in an area where you live and you want to do in person as well, you can tap into these methods. So first, let's start with online. We have organic and we have paid. Organic is going to look like your website SEO. It's going to look like your Google business profile. It's going to look like the quality of your website in general. That's going to improve or increase the number of leads, the deal flow that you have. This also is going to include Facebook. This is going to include potentially Facebook Marketplace. It's going to include potentially leveraging Facebook groups. It's also going to include Nextdoor, right? There's a lot of organic ways that you can do online. Now, I'm also going to throw a caveat in here and say referrals and reviews are partially online. Some of that could be in person, some of that could be online. But the reality with the organic is there are plenty of online ways for you to generate organic leads. And the next way is going to be your paid leads. Now, your paid leads are going to be you are advertising, you are spending money to acquire potential customers. I recommend for most people, especially starting out, you need to get on pay per lead platforms. Now, the reason why this is so crucial is because you are paying for the phone call, you're paying for the message, you're paying for the opportunity, not just paying for a click or a view. Because when you are not established as a business, it's going to be much less likely that you're going to close your clicks and your views, and much more likely that you can close if you get someone on the phone or get someone in a text conversation or an email conversation. That will at least give you a chance to kind of vie for yourself. Whereas if your online virtual presence is not very strong, then a pay-per-click or pay-per-view platform, it's probably not going to help you as much as a pay-per-lead platform. Now, what pay-per-leads platforms are there available? Yelp, Thumbtack, Google LSA, Angie's Leads. There's a whole bunch of different platforms. Now, I don't think that they're all created equal. For me personally, I am a big fan of LSA and I'm a big fan of Thumbtack. Both of those can be used correctly and can be used incorrectly 100%. For LSA, you really want to focus on your service areas. You want to focus on maximizing your budget. You want to focus on expanding your hours. And if possible, you're going to want to have your message leads on. However, message lead quality can be extremely low, especially in recent times. So be aware of that as you go through this process. Okay. Thumbtack. Thumbtack is a great tool. You're going to need to find a way to get around direct bookings. You're going to need to find a way to get around some pretty insane lead costs on certain types of Thumbtack inquiries. Now, I am going to be releasing a Thumbtack guide sometime in the near future. Right now, I'm keeping my cards close to my chest, and only students within the Drop Service Academy are getting access to the Thumbtack sauce for the moment, because we want to corner the market there, and our paid students are going to get the most insight into that at the moment. But I'm sure at some point in the future, we will make the information more public for subscribers of this channel. So this gives me a great opportunity to say, if you have not yet subscribed and hit the bell for post notifications, please do that now. Also smash that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. So we've also got Yelp. Yelp has something called the portfolio section. The portfolio section worked very well for me. I was able to get an intro offer for $2 a day, generated way more than $60 a month worth of business. However, using it as a normal pay-per-lead platform, I wouldn't recommend unless your area is specifically geographically keen to success on Yelp. In my area, that was not the case, so I quickly discontinued it after my portfolio promotion and the free ad credits that they offer run out. Now, that being said, Yelp is also an organic platform, so make sure you have a Yelp account. Make sure it's set up. That also gives them an opportunity to offer you free leads, free advertising credits, and you still could get inquiries from Yelp on the organic side if you build out your page nicely. Okay? Now, the only other thing that I want to throw in here is cold calling. Cold calling is a great way to generate leads, but it only works for construction or commercial. You can't cold call residential. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no conversion for the amount of time that you're going to spend doing it. But I do consider this to be a virtual way to generate leads, and especially if you are someone who is starting from square one and wants to spend as little money as possible, you need to be leaning on these free organic marketing strategies for online growth. This is going to be all of your local social media platforms. It's going to be cold calling. It's going to be optimizing your website and your Google business profile. If you cannot spend money on getting clients, you have to work 3 times as hard on the organic side. And if you don't, you will not be successful. It is that simple. Okay, now that we've covered the online, let's switch our focus over to the in-person for all of my people who live in the area that they're servicing, whether or not they're actually doing cleans or things like that. I'm talking about in-person marketing. This, again, can be split into 2 different sections, organic or free and paid. Now, in the organic or free section, you've got speaking to people. When you go to a bar, talk to people about your business. Talk to the business owner. When you go to a restaurant, same thing. When you go to a library, same thing. When you go to a car dealership, right? Anywhere that you go that you can talk about your business, you open yourself up an opportunity to get a customer, get a referral, get someone interested, get someone talking about you, and you generate buzz around your business. Again, if you are starting on a budget, you cannot afford to not talk about your business all the time, okay? Now, we've also got in-person networking events. We've got small business career fairs. We've got a lot of different local small events that you can show up at, show face, give out business cards if you have them. It doesn't cost you anything to attend, meet people, shake hands, and give yourself an opportunity at relationships. Now, on the flip side of this, we have the paid strategy. This would be sponsoring an event. This would be, putting an ad in the paper, putting an ad on your golf course's scorecard, on your local high school's ballots or things that they're handing out to people, right? All of these things, the teams, the sporting teams, they'll do sponsorships. These are all ways that it could work. Now, obviously, apply that to your local market. If you're in a big city, probably no value in doing that. If anything, sponsoring a small event, paying to get a booth, that's something that could be of value. And then, of course, there's always paper marketing material, yard signs, door hangers, business cards, flyers. all these different avenues where you can actually spend 10 to 25 cents per impression with these paper marketing materials. And if you use them properly and you don't just go handing them out willy-nilly and getting them thrown in the trash, you can actually have a huge return on investment with paper marketing material. Yes, it has cost, but it's way lower than a lot of other different marketing options. Okay. Now, you could also do car stickers. You could do yard signs. Again, be strategic with these. They're slightly more expensive, but you can get a lot of impressions with them versus like a business card or a flyer is probably only going to get a couple impressions. It's not going to get a ton beyond that. So now I've just given you 20 different ways that you can generate leads. All right. I'm going to also give you a little bit of sauce here on the Facebook Marketplace side for free or for paid, depending on how you use it. You can post a house cleaning for free quotes on your Marketplace section, and you will actually be able to advertise to everyone who is scrolling in the free or low cost sections on Marketplace, advertising a free housekeeping estimate and giving yourself a bunch of eyeballs. You can furthermore promote that post and give yourself an opportunity there, or also just keep an eye on relevant events happening in Facebook and Nextdoor in your area of people that are doing things that might require them to get cleaning before or after said things. Okay. Now, we've talked about how we generate leads. We're ready to get on the phone with customers, but once we do, how do we close them? Okay, there's three main avenues in which leads are going to come in. Leads are going to come in over the phone. This is the vast majority of them. Leads are going to come in via a message or something of that sort on your lead platforms like Thumbtack or Google LSA messages or Yelp messages, etc. Or they're going to come in through your website, through an email, something like that, where someone just reaches out to your business directly. Okay. Either way, these are all different types of leads and should be approached differently. Okay. For example, the first type of lead, let's talk about email. Email, you're normally going to want to respond via email unless they provided you a number to call. Now, when someone provides me a number to call, I'm always going to call because I always like my closing odds better on the phone than I do via messages. Okay. Now, same thing with a Google message lead, a Thumbtack message lead, a Yelp message lead. I recommend try to get them on the phone. If they do not give you an opportunity, you handle the correspondence through messages. Try to be succinct with your message. Get information right away. Don't be preemptive with a quote unless you're going to lowball a quote just to try to get them to get on a phone with you. But then you run into the risk of price objection and them being upset once you actually get around to giving them the real price, let's call it. So, once we've got that dialed in, now let's talk about on the phone. The objective for all lead types, we want to get them on the phone so we have a much better chance of closing them, okay? Once you're on the phone, there's a few key things, okay? You're going to need to be confident. You need to know what it is that you're talking about, and you want to gather as much information as possible before giving the quote. Now, let me break these steps down for you. Confidence is being friendly. It's speaking in a confident, strong tone. It is carrying yourself in a way that says this person is in charge. This person knows what they're talking about. I'm not speaking to a rookie. I'm speaking to a veteran, someone that understands the game and understands what I need and how they can help me. Okay. A lot of customers will respond very well to a strong, confident, charismatic person on the phone versus someone who is timid or someone who is uncertain, or someone who is really just trying to get a quote spit out as quick as possible. And that's going to take me right into my next point, which is getting as much information as possible. Okay. You need to know your stuff. Obviously, you need to know what questions to ask. You need to know what your services look like when they ask you questions. But at the end of the day, you can have a CRM in front of you and be pulling up the questions to get the answers and then get a quote. Still, sometimes I use my CRM. A phone call comes in, I pull up my CRM, I punch the information in, it spits out a price, then I can accurately give the price to the customer. Now, most cleans that are smaller or more frequent sizes, I know them really well at this point. I don't even need to pull the CRM up, but regardless, I think it's a good idea to have it. Now, the thing is, when we get a customer on the phone, we want to get as much information as possible. And I'm going to break this down into 3 steps for you. The first step is capture the lead. The first step is I have their phone number, I want to get their email address, and I want to get their name. Now I've fully captured the lead. Now I could retarget them in the future. Now I could put them through an SMS campaign, an email campaign. I could save their number in my phone because I have their name. All of these things are going to increase the likelihood that you do future business with this person, regardless of whether or not you close them on the phone right there. Now, it is also going to increase your likelihood of closing them on the phone right there, but for the sake of argument, the main focus of that is capturing the leads so you can retarget them in the future. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2, making sure you fully understand the scope of work that they're looking for and making sure that they fully understand the scope of work that they're looking for. You want to know if it's a basic clean or a deep clean or a moving clean. Do they need the appliances done? Do they need the windows done? Are there things that they're interested in doing that aren't part of your normal packages? Are there add-ons or things you can upsell them to? The more that you get them to talk about the space and the service, the more accurate your estimate is going to be, the more things you could potentially upsell them to, and the more understood they are going to feel when it comes time to book the service. They're going to feel very strongly that you are going to be able to deliver the service that they want because you know exactly what they are looking for. Okay? And then the third stage is the fact that the more information you gather from someone, the less likely they're going to want to do it again with someone else. If you get someone's address, name, phone number, the scope of work, what they want done, if you get any of their other personal contact information, if you get their backstory, anything like that, the more that they talk to you, the longer the call drags on, the less likely they're going to be to want to go and have that same conversation with 5 other people. And the more bonded and close and trusting they're going to feel of you and your business, therefore making them more likely to close. Okay? Now let's talk about some tips, some little things you can implement into your business that will help you increase your closing rate. So first thing, things we can pull out of them. We want to hear their pain points. We want to hear if they had a cleaning service in the past. And for me, if I feel a certain way about a customer, if I'm getting an inkling that maybe they're going to be a harder close or anything, I oftentimes ask for their budget right away, because if we're within the same ballpark, then I can deliver my price with confidence. And if we're not, I can mentally switch around what it is that I'm going to offer them, rather than if their budget's $150 and my price is $300, rather than offering them a $300 service that I know they're not going to get, I'm going to tell them what I can give them for $150, be it 3 hours of cleaning or 4 hours of cleaning or something along those lines, rather than drop the $300 price and alienate them immediately. Okay? Now, the other strategy that I have employed that has worked really well for me is offering flat rate versus hourly. If you offer a flat rate price to someone and they feel that it's really overblown, potentially offer them an hourly service, potentially give them the opportunity to pay for only what they receive. If they think that the flat rate is way overblown, then the hourly might give them an opportunity to get or perceive that they're getting more value for the service, and it will still allow you to get the close. And then lastly, the last pro tip that I have for you, if you want to increase your likelihood of getting bookings on the calendar, get the payment info then. Set your cancellation policy so that you do not have cancellation fees except for, 24 hours before, 48 hours before, whatever you want to do, and use that as an avenue to get payment information, similarly to personal information, but even on a higher level. Once a customer gives you their card info and gives you their payment info, they are so much more likely to continue to follow through with your service. A way that I do this is if a customer says they need to think about it and they have a time commitment or they have a particular type of service that they're looking for, and I will tell them, hey, we're running out of jobs available left on that day that you need. Or, hey, it's a little short notice. We've got one booking left on that day that you need, or that time of day that you need. Or, oh, you're looking for this type of clean. Well, we have an expert cleaner at that type of cleaning, but she is only available for X number of more bookings. Things like that creates a sense of urgency within your customer, and you can use that to say, hey, let's just get the booking on the calendar, get it in the system, get your card on file. There's no cancellation fee. So if you decide tomorrow or later tonight or whatever that you don't want to do the service through us anymore and you aren't comfortable with it, or you change your mind for whatever reason, I'll cancel the booking, no questions asked. I have said that over 100 times and have actually canceled the booking after the fact, maybe 3 or 4 out of 100. Once you get the customer's information and you get them on the calendar with a payment method, you have sealed the deal 9 times out of 10. Now, we teach people exactly how to do this with one live weekly call dedicated directly to sales, one dedicated to cold outreach, one dedicated to marketing, and with over 40 video modules covering all of these different topics within the Drop Service Academy. And I'm going to show you exactly what that would look like if you wanted to get started with your remote home service business today. Here within Drop Service Academy, we prioritize teaching people how to generate free and pay leads, teaching people through the modules here in the normal section, the step-by-step home service empire, in the extended modules with sales and marketing additional resources, through our weekly sales training on Tuesday nights, and obviously within the community as we exchange sales secrets and tactics, and also through our now brand new Friday night objection handling call that started just a couple weeks ago for all new students who are looking to not only sharpen their sales skills, but also learn how to deal with the most common objections that they are going to face, which inevitably will be pricing, either time or an inability to service, or the I have to talk to my spouse / roommate / whoever I live with objection. So we have full service resources along with obviously your student success manager who will help you with any sales related questions that you have. But with just the 10, 20, even 30 different video modules and resources along with weekly calls available inside of Drop Service Academy, most of our students, as you can see through our other student interviews, find that sales and selling and adding customers and adding revenue to the books is the easiest part of running the business, because once you know what to do, you become a professional very quickly. And not only do we have all of that for inbound sales, but we also have for outbound sales our cold outreach workshop on Tuesday afternoon and our lead generation workshop on Saturday afternoon, along with all of our additional modules for cold outreach, our scripts, our templates, and everything else that we provide so that students can feel 100% confident with every different aspect of the sales process, both inbound and outbound. So if you are interested in joining the Drop Service Academy, make sure you reach out and get scheduled on a call with one of our student success managers so we can see if this might be a good fit for you. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, and comment any questions you might have below. The next video in the series is the fulfillment video, which if you're watching this, you can probably just click right into that next video and get the 4th of 5 pillars with a bonus 6th pillar that will be available as well. I appreciate all of your time. And if you have any inquiries about joining the Drop Service Academy, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll see you in the next video.